Come on in, come on in. Alrighty. Hey, I guess number one is here in the chat. You can hear me well? There you go. Good job. Thank you. Well, salutation, dear saga lovers. Welcome to the Saga Reveal with your host, Madem-Oiselle. Furry red lips. On this channel, the face don't matter, but the lips are speaking. I would like to send you all love and gratitude for joining me here today. Please hit the like button. That button, let me tell you, it's a decoration. It's just for your video to get in the algorithm. It's not really about liking or not liking or disliking. I mean, it's quite a joke. But anyways, keep liking the button. It just helps with the algorithm and the program because we're in the tube here. Let's chat and gab, guys. Let's remember also this channel is for entertainment only. Okay, dear friends? So what we're going to start today is I wanted to recap some few things that I missed the last few times because the video part is a learning curve for me and I'm very stubborn and I wanted to go live. I don't want to shoot anything and sit there and record. I thought it feels more real and, unique than just recording. Everybody records. And I'm definitely not showing my face because it doesn't matter really. And I heard that most of the time, a lot of people don't really care about it. They just want to hear a voice and have a nice little video edited there. So let's keep hiding here, guys, okay? But again, we're people in the tube. All right, so let me share this video because of the story that went around about the crime that were committed against Peanut. Let me tell you Peanut's story. His friend, Fred the raccoon, well, it's not over. So I'm going to share this video with you. Give me 1 second. This entire screen.
Other evidence that
he does not dispute that he was at the light
he disputes
at the same time as Mr. Drinks was.
Okay, great. I'm going to rewind it just a little bit. Aha. There we go.
Yes.
Somebody plotted latitude and longitude
I don't
on a map
no, we
to get that
up,
location.
No. We pulled up the map. We went into Google and we put PJV2 plus VR. We just Googled it and we pulled up the location.
So essentially, they want someone who doesn't work for the ankle monitor. And mind you, the ankle monitor company person is already here. They want someone who doesn't work for the ankle monitor company to take something that's on the ankle monitor company's Excel sheet and then compare it to a Google printout that the prosecutors printed out, and
that is already in evidence.
It's in evidence. It's not. We're not admitting it through her. It's in evidence. The ankle monitor witness introduced it. He introduced it along with the record. Of the pictures. And so at this point, when Mr. Shard has challenged,
and then what? So you'll then say, and here's this other piece of evidence that is a plot of PJV2 plus VR.
Is that the location at the light that for the surveillance video that we just observed? Because all of this is in this is all in response to Mr. Shard's cross-examination about what occurred at the light.
Can you put that back up again, please? The thing that was just up. And from this, you are going to have her extrapolate that because at 10:02, his ankle monitor showed him at that location, then what? Because you came up here and were saying this is going to be able to show that the timeline is accurate across all the different devices. How is it going to do
so
that?
The challenge that Mr. Shard made is that the 9:59 phone calls. This started with the phone call at 9:59.
Ms. Whitaker is discouraged.
Mr. Shard asked Investigator Viverito, "Are you able to know if that is the accurate time?" Because of that line of cross-examination, we are now showing Investigator Viverito other admitted evidence that shows a correlation to that 59 time. So when you look at this chart, before we get to the 10:02, which is at PJV2, at 9:59, the
Please
ankle.
put that exhibit back up.
She's tired, Miss Whitaker.
Or hand it to me. I'm happy to have a paper copy of it.
Maybe she needs a candy.
So now we're talking about 9:59 and not 10:02.
Your Honor, we're showing Mr. Shard started off at 9:59. Then, if you can recall, he went through the entirety of the surveillance video at the FedEx. So that's after 9:59. So what we are showing is other evidence that
he does not dispute that he was at the light
he disputes
at the same time as Mr. Drinks was.
Your Honor, he disputes that Mr. Stillwell is the person who was shooting. He disputes that the call at 9:59 was a call to get on FaceTime to shoot Mr. Drinks. We are saying that that call, that FaceTime call, is a call that where they said we are getting ready to go shoot the ops. That's why they get on FaceTime. So he is challenging all of that, Your Honor. So what we are showing is at 9:59, if you look here on the ankle monitor, he's at 464 Windsor Street. That is the BP gas station. He then a minute
9:59 is accurate. And lined up to, I mean, I don't see how you can establish that 9:59, according to the ankle monitor company, is, you know, spot on to the second. 9:59 according to the wiretap.
But we're saying that it's accurate time, Your Honor, because he wants. He's at 464 Windsor, which is where, if you look at the BP gas station video footage, that is when all the cars begin to pull off from the surveillance video at the BP gas station.
But there is no cross-reference to the wiretap, which is the point. That's my only point. Is 9:59 on the wiretap. We don't know when it is on the rest of these devices, and this information does not give us or other surveillance systems.
Agreed. Do you have him on the video at the BP station talking on the phone and going like this?
We have the wiretap that has him. We believe the phone plot.
I know you believe it. Do you have evidence to establish it?
Our evidence is circumstantial evidence that he is at the gas. Station. Do we have direct evidence?
No. Do you have evidence that the
My mic was not on.
that you want is the same?
Sorry, guys, my mic wasn't on. I was just talking and I realized, oh Lord. But I just wanted to say, this is Judge Whitaker for you guys. It's been like this the whole time. Actually, Mrs. Whitaker joined in, or I should say Judge Whitaker joined in June, after Judge Glanville, I call him Glanvillain, was removed from the case due to an ex parte meeting with the defense and a witness that was on the stand. Anyways, but yeah, let's get back to it. Here we go, Judge Whitaker.
Same 9:59 on all of the different things that recorded time in video.
That is why we're showing this, Your Honor, because we're trying to show circumstantially that all these times are.
How are you showing circumstantially that it lines up?
Your Honor, because when we look at the ankle monitor information,
Your Honor. Oh, Mrs. Hilton, she's so discouraged, guys. And her sidekick is not here. Her sidekick is Mrs. Love. And I haven't seen her since the last plea deal that was offered to 6 co-defendants and the main defendant, Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Tug. But yeah, let's go back to it.
He is at the 464 Windsor at 9:59. The call comes in at 9:59. The BP gas station surveillance video has 9:59. So we are showing that all of these things coexist. So the time could not just be off because all of the time are at approximately 9.
That's if he got the call when he was still at the gas station.
Your Honor.
The fact that they all at some point say 9:59 doesn't establish anything if you don't have a video that shows him talking on the phone at 9:59 so that you can go, aha, see, the video lines up with the ankle monitor that says 464 Windsor Street. Otherwise, it's just what you want it to say, but it doesn't actually, even circumstantially, establish that. You can argue it, but you can't.
Sorry, guys. Did you guys see Mr. Shard walking back and forth, getting redder and smiling, and he's like, I'm staying out of this conversation. All right, let's get back to it.
Have a witness say, yep, this says 9:59, so that means that's when that.
Ask her to say that, Your Honor. We never asked Investigator Verito to say that. We asked her what time
you were telling me that's what you were leading up to having her say.
No, it's not, Your Honor. What I said, I would never have her say, is he exactly on the phone at that time, because he's in a tinted car, so we don't know. What we know is from the wiretap that at 9:59 there's a phone call. That's what we know.
That at 9:59, according to however the wiretap clock was running.
Correct.
Yes. So nobody disputes that.
Your Honor, we've stopped talking about 9:59.
You came up here and said, I'm asking these questions so that I can establish that the timeline lines up for everything.
Yes, Your Honor, the timeline lines up. So at this point, I can show that all of these different devices are around approximately the same time.
I don't think anybody disputes even that it's approximately the same time.
Mr. Shard does.
You can have her, it's in evidence. You can have her read something, but you cannot have her say, yeah, that means all of these times lined up.
I
that
never was
means
going to
9:59 here and 9:59 on the wiretap were the same thing.
We never had her. We were finished with the 9:59, Your Honor. The only thing I had just asked her was about PJV2 when he objected. We were finished with 9:59 about 5 questions ago. So the only thing that Mr. Shard objected to at this time was that she was reading PJV2.
No, that she was about to interpret.
She was not, and that's the thing.
Okay, well, great. She's not going to.
Okay, well,
that wasn't the state's intention.
And I have no idea why you think any of this is going to establish that all of the times lined up. But
I'm going to object on relevance grounds at this point because I don't know where we're going, but it seems that they were trying to establish something. They said they're done establishing that, and Investigator Viverito is still interpreting ankle monitor data. So I'm going to object to relevance in 403.
Your Honor,
yeah, there you go. Basically, it's all about the ankle monitor, and the evidence is coming in and the timing. And Mrs. Hilton is asking Detective Viverito about those things, and she is not the expert here. She actually already came and went, the witness expert for the ankle monitor. All right, guys, so you can see Mr. Shaw walking away, all happy and excited. It's been like this the whole time. Okay, let's go back.
As I stated earlier, Mr. Shard has challenged what occurred at the light.
I know.
So at this point, we're just showing, based on admitted evidence, what occurred at the light, Your Honor. That's all.
Miss Hilton. She's discouraged.
Testimony about whether the times for everything sync up, I think has been Mr. Sharp's argument the entire time. Well, in the screenshot that was admitted to Detective Hogan.
Okay, I didn't rule that it wasn't relevant. What we discussed up here at the bench was that it's not within the scope of redirect, which is when Ms. Hilton said, oh, yes, it is, because I'm going to be establishing that all of the times line up.
On cross, he disputed that the 959 from wiretap was anywhere close or could be related to the 959 anywhere else.
Was established as being the same 959, and I have heard nothing that, maybe you could tell me how you can establish that.
So at 959, when he makes the FaceTime or the call, he is at 464 Windsor Street. Okay, so then you go to your next step.
No, that is, how do we know that he's at 464 Windsor Street?
Says it.
Because some other item of evidence says it, and we don't know that they're all running on the same clock.
That's what we're trying to show you it is, because at 959, if everyone would just wait, and we'll get to the big.
Guys, I'm going to stop it right here. It's been a lot of back and forth with Judge Whitaker, and it's been like that with Miss Judge Glanville. And we do see these back and forth, but like unnecessary at this point, you know, like she's still going to be able to talk, but not to cover, to redirect after they have finalized our words. All right, so let's keep going. I think I'm going to go a little bit further here.
It's being called a bad
Oh,
name?
yes, here.
No,
Here. This is what happened. Sorry, guys.
She wants it to, and now we have
I'm still at a loss as to where we are.
So yeah, this is where Mr. Weinstein, Doug Weinstein, is coming in, and he has a, I believe it's a motion. Oh yes, this was actually very surprising. I did not expect this. Okay, guys, hang on tight. The drama is never ending until the end. Like there's been nothing but drama. Okay, let's go.
But we'll just get her back in. And
I have a motion before the jury comes out to bring her back in because unfortunately it's my job to further tax the patients in court.
what's that?
So that was hard to hear. He's coming to the mic, guys.
Yeah, I have a motion to strike the testimony of Investigator Viverito as well as any evidence that came under her. And the reason I make this motion, Your Honor, is yesterday it came up that she had not been, that she had been following the case. The court asked me to not pursue that. I'm not.
Come up that she had been following the case. It came up that.
All right, I'm just going to pause it quickly, guys, so you know, when you are a witness and when you're part of the jury, you're not allowed to check on any news of what's going on a trial, specifically if it's live. You're supposed to avoid conversation, all kinds. And Detective Viverito yesterday said on the stand that she saw certain things on X. So this is why Mr. Doug Weinstein, a very intelligent man, says, you know what, maybe we can have her removed. So let's see. Okay.
She knew that somebody had mentioned her on Twitter.
Okay, and your opinion would have been different if she was following the
All right,
case?
I'm just going to rewind it a bit for you guys. All right, let's go.
Unfortunately, it's my job to further tax the patients in court.
What's that?
The smile from
I have a
Shard.
motion to strike the testimony of Investigator Viverito as well as any evidence that came under her. And the reason I make this motion, Your Honor, is yesterday it came up that she had not been, that she had been following the case. The court asked me to not pursue that. I'm not.
Come up that she had been following the case. It came up that she knew that somebody had mentioned her on Twitter.
Okay, and your opinion would have been different if she was following the case?
No, if you know that she was following the case, that doesn't exclude her as a witness. You can let the jury know that.
Okay, because
You can ask her that.
I can ask her about her following the case?
Sure, and we'll see what she says.
Okay.
And if that's so, then it still doesn't exclude her testimony. It just lets the jury know, well, she may know some of this other stuff from listening to some other witness.
Okay, because what I would like to get into, and we may as well bring it up now before the jury is here, is that she got into an altercation out in the hallway with Kayla Bumpus.
Why is that relevant to the guilt or innocence?
I'm about to go there, Your Honor.
Okay.
Just let me finish a second. She got into it because she was watching Kayla Bumpus's YouTube feed about this case, and Kayla Bumpus apparently called her.
Okay, you may get into whether she has been tracking this case.
Mm-hmm.
You may not get into whether she got into a dispute with somebody about their posts.
It gets into her bias against these defendants, Your Honor. It goes directly to it.
What are you proposing to ask?
I'm proposing to ask if she told Kayla Bumpus in the hallway that was the last time she was going to call her a hoe. It goes direct.
I'm sorry, the last time who was going to call?
Sorry for the pronouns. That Kayla Bumpus was going to call Investigator Viverito.
We need to get into who it was, or just that somebody.
I think we need to get into who it was.
Why?
Because she's married to Mr. Jackson.
Well, was she at the time? Is this
the drama, guys? So apparently, Kayla Bumpus, guys, was the attorney, the one-day attorney for Little Woody. I'll show you a short compilation about Little Woody. He was the witness, the star witness of this whole YSL RICO case trial that cost the states millions of dollars. So far at 160 days and still going. So basically, she was married to Shannon Stillwell, and Shannon is sitting right there next to Mr. Shard, his lawyer, and his lawyer's like, "Wow, this drama! Why do you want to bring this?" So there's a kind of little funny thing that we're gonna hear here. Something about the rule 403, and I'll let you guys know. I've learned a few things here with the U.S. law.
Real, y'all?
Yeah. Well,
none of this is relevant. Whatever is happening between Ms. Bumpus, Mr. Jackson, has nothing to do with the guilt or innocence.
Unfortunately, the bias of a witness, well, fortunately, or I strike that. It is not fortunate or unfortunate, except for the fact that it is dragging this case on even longer. But a witness's bias towards a party may always be shown.
If she isn't, if she's
don't talk at the same time.
Caleb Bumps is not a party to this incident. Caleb.
Yes, but if she's married to one of the parties, then that might qualify.
I don't know. I'm not the proponent of this evidence. I'm hearing Mr. Weinstein out, but my silence should not be viewed as acquiescence that I believe this should be admitted. I need to hear what Mr. Weinstein's saying because I may have an objection myself.
What I'm saying is that if there is a relationship between Miss Bumpus and the defendant, then Investigator Viverito's bias against that
being called a bad name?
No, if she is in an altercation with someone that's in a relationship with the defendant, I think, and especially if it is a threat, because
how is that a threat?
That's the last time you're going to call me a hoe. I mean, I've had clients arrested for less.
You may ask.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No, I'm not.
You may ask.
My sentence. You may ask if she is following the case and has been following the case in any kind of manner. But it's really only relevant if she listened to the testimony of a witness. So you could ask that. But if she's just looking at, and I don't even know if she was looking at, maybe somebody told her. So why don't we get her in here and find all of that out outside the presence of the jury before we go into something that ends up being a bunch of nothing?
Well, that's why I wanted to bring it up when the jury wasn't here, Your Honor.
So can we also bring up before we go into the side surface, the fact that Ms. Bumpus represented Copeland?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think saying who this is before we find out anything. I mean, do we know we don't even know whether she's actually married to him or if she was married to him at the time or if Miss Viverito knows that or if it was because of any kind of bias against Mr. Stillwell or just that she doesn't like being called that name.
Well, and no one would, Your Honor, obviously.
That's interesting.
But if she is in an altercation with someone in a relationship.
What do you mean by altercation?
A verbal altercation.
Okay. I mean,
You know,
a verbal, that's the last time you're going to call me that?
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
That's the last time you're going to call me that? That's not exactly an altercation. Is that
Okay.
is that all you've got?
That's all I have.
Okay, that's it.
All this drama.
This is 403 material.
Hoisted on my own petard, Your Honor.
Correct. All right, let's get the witness back in and the jury back in.
Oh my God, this is hilarious, guys. So at the end of the day, they're not going to use it. He's not going to use it just because it's not really good for his friend as well. Or his friend, I would say, for the other defendant, because this whole case is they're trying not to, so how can I say, could cause confusion, misleading, or unfair prejudice. That could affect the defendant. So it is called Rule 403, 403, I guess you call it, excluding relevant evidence for prejudice, confusion, waste of time, or other reason. And I mean, just by the laugh, you can see Mr. Shard sitting there and he's like, yeah, like, come on, you don't need this. It's ridiculous. And there you go. So we're moving on from this part. I want to get to another part that I kind of wanted to share with you guys, with Detective Viverito being questioned. Let's see here. Okay, we're gonna skip Mrs. Hilton because Mrs. Hilton is very boring to listen to. Okay, all right, let's go. Look at that foot shaking. He's ready. He's been building up this case. All right, I think
LPR
yeah,
readers.
she's almost done. It's just
What information do you need about a car in order
PR
to put
readers.
your car on an LPR reader?
A license plate.
Yeah, it's just a system they use to find out the plates and to match the plates with the cars, basically. Okay, guys? Skip her.
Number.
With the two and plate information. See the
She done. Okay, let's go. I wish I could do this live, guys.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. Investigator Viverito, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
So you were just asked about LPR readers, and I think the context is figuring out the car that did the U-turn and the car that sped up behind Mr. Stillwell.
Okay.
And you said you need a license plate and that you can't see the license plate from that video.
Or if you have it, sometimes a make and model search might work, but at night, in my experience, it's not very accurate.
Well, are you aware that it was in fact a make and model search that night that revealed the license plate of the white Audi and the white Ford Fusion?
No.
Okay. That Detective Ender, I believe her name is, did? Okay. So the bottom line is LPR search by make and model, it's never going to work if you don't try, is it?
No, but if you're saying she did it for those two, it probably should have captured whatever other car.
Okay, I agree. All right, so what's the license plate of the car that sped up behind Mr. Stillwell?
Well, I was going to continue. Like over the summer, I've been working in investigation quite extensively, looking for a very particular two cars in the city. I probably have searched every LPR in the city by make and model. And at night, you may put white Nissan, you may put white this, white that, and I'm getting back white Tesla. When I look at the license plate and pull up the results, they're not correct.
Mr. Shard is like, what is she talking about? That's not what I asked her. Look at him. He's putting his fingers together, and we're going to repeat it again.
I appreciate that anecdotal story about what you've been.
When I look at the license plate and pull up the results, they're not correct.
Okay. I appreciate that anecdotal story about what you've been doing this summer. But
Anecdotal.
That night, make and model was used to reveal the license plate of the Ford Fusion and the white Audi.
Right.
And it was nighttime on March 14th, correct?
Right. But depending on what LPRs those cars had hit, that location on Windsor right there, I don't know if there's one right there that would have caught it clear enough.
Okay, well, what LPRs did the car that sped up behind Mr. Stillwell that has not been tested for gunshot residue, what LPRs did that hit?
You'd have to ask Detective Hogan.
Okay, you keep saying ask Detective Hogan. One minute you're on the side of Windsor Street.
This is where he's getting into her skin, guys. You got to go ask someone else. Don't ask me. Let's go.
Trying to find homeless people as part of this case.
Correct.
And the next minute, you don't know anything about the case and it's Detective Hogan.
That's not what I said.
Okay. Well, I want to know, do you know if any LPRs were run on the make and model of any cars besides the white Audi, the Ford Fusion, and the red Versa? Do you know if any other LPRs were run or even attempted to be run?
First, I wasn't in charge of running the LPRs for the case, okay. And if they were running it by make and model, that maybe they saw, if you have a make and model, it's much easier than just say not having one that you're looking for.
Okay. You talked about the phone conversation between Mr. Stillwell and Mr. Garlington about he never told Mr. Garlington, I don't know why I'm being arrested or something to that effect. Well, I don't understand. Okay. When people are arrested, you've arrested people before, right?
Correct.
Okay. And you typically tell them what the charges are. You give them that courtesy.
Yes, of course.
And you tell them what you're arresting them for.
Wow.
Of course.
Okay. They don't have to agree with you, but you do inform them.
Correct.
Okay. So are you saying that Mr. Garlington is the first person that Mr. Stillwell would have talked to after being arrested on that jail call or that phone?
Wow, sorry guys, I just realized I'm already 44 minutes to go in there. But I'm going to try to speed this up, okay?
Phone conversation? Is that what you're saying?
No, he'd been in custody for a minute at that point.
Okay, and you would agree that there's probably been significant ability for people that arrested him, other people involved with the case to inform him what his charges are and generally what he's accused of.
I don't think that's what Ms. Hilton meant. That's not how I took the question from me.
Okay, cool. We pulled out this mapping information for.
All right. So there you go. It's been pretty much like this the whole case, guys. Oh boy, here. Skip this. Yeah.
Things like that, it fit.
So again, and you don't even know when it's on for that millisecond. Just if that was potentially.
All right,
So
I'm going to skip the end. It's
preparation
about the
case you-
song that's being played on Instagram.
I
Okay,
probably-
guys.
How many different screenshots did you take?
I have no idea.
Well,
We're
can
talking
you just
about.
tell me from your report?
I can't. You can look at my folder that was served to Discovery and tell me.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
You know what? Like the reports, like nobody's seen any reports so far. A couple of things happened. Their system got hacked. I mean, it was a disaster, this whole trial. Yeah, the district attorney's DA's office got hacked, guys. Okay, let's go.
Ms. Weinstein, anything?
I'm going to end it with Weinstein. I like Mr. Weinstein. He always brings the heat.
Good afternoon, Investigator Viverito.
Good afternoon.
So you mentioned that Mr. Kendrick's phone was seized at the time that he was arrested on May 9th, 2022, correct?
It was.
And his phone was extracted.
It was.
Did you review that extraction?
I did.
And if you reviewed that extraction, did you see that he had been spending several months in LA and then only returned to Atlanta within a day or two of the day he was arrested?
I did.
Did you also see other location data within that phone?
Absolutely.
Okay. And in that location data, again, he'd been spending the bulk of his time in California, correct?
Correct.
All right. Did you look through all the photographs on that phone?
I looked through a good bit of them, yes.
The two photographs that were shown in court this afternoon, are those the only two photographs of interest that you believe were in the phone?
No, there was probably a few.
Okay. Did you find any evidence on that phone that Mr. Kendrick was in possession of any firearms?
No.
Okay. Let's briefly return to the Richard Mill watch.
Yes, sure.
I understand the eye roll.
All right, guys. This is a very, very, very interesting part. This watch is worth a lot of money, and somehow it's missing from evidence and from the house. You can see how uncomfortable she is with her laugh. Okay, let's go back to that part. Let's go.
Let's briefly return to the Richard Mill watch.
Yes, sure.
I understand the eye roll. During the seizure that day, and I'm looking at a property report.
Sure.
During the seizure that day, you, and when I say you, I mean APD, can I say under your supervision? Is that accurate?
I didn't work for APD at that time, so
Well,
I couldn't.
Okay, then let's just say APD. APD seized. APD seized a necklace and a pendant from a bedroom, correct?
I guess I'd have to look at the report. I don't have it in front of me.
Okay, well, you were involved in this. They seized a blue box of jewelry, correct?
Correct, in a red box.
In a red box of jewelry. They seized jewelry that was on Martinez Arnold.
I believe so.
They seized a Chevy Corvette,
Yes.
a Dodge Durango,
Yes.
a Mercedes-Benz AMG,
Yes.
a Mercedes-Benz GLS class,
Yes.
a Porsche 911,
Yes.
a Jeep Grand Cherokee,
Yes.
a pink Lamborghini,
Yes.
another Mercedes-Benz aluminum silver,
Yes.
about jewelry that was located in a Mercedes AMG.
Yes.
And they even seized a ring found on Jeffrey Williams' hand, correct?
I'd have to see which one was on his hand. I didn't have any contact with Mr. Williams when he was arrested.
Okay. So despite seizing all of that, you left behind the Richard Mill watch, pink with a white ceramic case.
Again, Mr. Weinstein, as it's being inventoried, the jewelry is being looked at. I use photographed. The jewelry is being put on the thing. If you watch the video, and it's placed on the shelf, and nobody messes with it again.
So is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Detective. You are
Thank you, Your Honor.
excused. Do you have any more witnesses?
Okay, so that was it. I wanted to let you guys know the case is actually at the moment on not recess, but the district attorneys have rested. So now the defense are asking, well, they haven't yet, but they said earlier today that they were going to ask for a motion, probably for a motion to for a direct verdict. Basically, a direct verdict is where the juries no longer have to decide the case and dismiss it. It will be the judge. It occurs in a jury when the judge orders the jury to return a specific verdict because no reasonable jury could reach any decision. And it's also because of the lack of sufficient evidence based on, well, to give the juries any reasonable, conclusion that whether they are guilty or not guilty. So this is probably going to be tomorrow or the day after. Anyways, I'll try to keep an eye on it, and we'll follow up with you guys on that. So that will be it for the YSL. And now I just want to share with you guys little interesting Woody's, little Woody. So a lot of you guys, I haven't had the chance to share this video, but let me go here. Little Woody, I need to close this. And alrighty. Okay. So my favorite moment, one of my favorite, I'm going to share this one with you guys. Oh, Lord. So funny. Little Woody. He's been the main witness that caused a lot of commotion on this trial. He at one point did not want to put on clothes and told the judge, I want to go and let the jury see me like this in my prison gown because you guys want to let me go home with this plea deal, holding me hostage. I want everybody to know. And that's the moment where Kayla Bumpus got involved because Little Woody's lawyer was unavailable for that specific day, and he had an emergency situation. So he did ask Kayla Bumpus to take over for the day and make sure that he doesn't go back to prison. So that's when the ex parte thing happened, and Little Woody was in the office with the judge, the district attorney, the bailiff. His lawyer was pretty much being coerced and intimidated to follow his plea deal. And he was given total immunity. Okay? So let's share this. Okay, guys, hold on. Okay. Yeah, share. Okay, here we go. Oops. I gotta put it here. Here we go. It's the beauty of being live, guys. Gotta do everything. Mine. Wrong screen. Let's unshare the other one. What's going on? Stop sharing. Duh. Live and learn. Stop sharing. This is closed. Okay. Share again. Here we go. This is the. Yeah, young Tug can't contain his laughter. All right, guys, let's go. All right, guys, you guys just heard it. No reports, no experts. It was a cheetah show. Cheetah show, big time. See how the defendant is sitting there, and even knowing that his life is on the line, his career is on the line, somehow he was able to chuckle on that. And I could imagine with his face all squinting like that, it wasn't really a good chuckle. It was really a horrifying chuckle. But you know what? He's out and gone. So this was one of my favorite little moment there. I wanted to share with you guys. Let's stop this share. Okay. Our next one is, let me see. It's not the one I wanted. Let's go here. All right, guys. Here we go. So this is the I Made It All Up Woody. We share. Here we go. Share entire screen. Audio on. Share. It's a short clip, so let's go back to the beginning.
Now, Mr. Copeland, on that call, did you hear when you talked to Max about Valerie?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes for the record?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to show you what's already been admitted at Stacey's Exhibit 60WA at timestamp 20898. Is that the Valerie that you were speaking of? Is that the Valerie that told you about the?
I guess.
I guess, I know.
I guess.
So is that a yes?
Yes.
All right. Now, you also talked about Little D in that call. Do you recall talking about Little D from Rock Crew and that he wasn't right?
I guess.
All right, I'm going to show you what's been already admitted as 60 WA at timestamps 16 seconds in. Is that the little D that you were referencing?
I guess.
Is I guess yes or no?
Yes.
All right.
I guess.
Now, why did you ask for Thug to pay your bond after you had told on them in the June 10th interview?
I didn't tell on them.
Okay.
I was going through a phase in my life. Like I told you before, and I told you in the back, I made it all up. I sat right there and said whatever came to the top of my head, that I pieced some things together and said what I said. If you listen to both of them calls, they contradict each other. If you listen to the interview, you hear what the police keep saying. And that's why I put everything on Thug. The man ain't had nothing to do with my stupidity. I'm sitting right here today telling y'all the truth, and y'all still sitting right here playing with this lady. Like I told y'all, I made it up. I put it on him. I'm not scared of nobody. Nobody forced me to say none of this stuff. This is not right.
Okay. After you spoke to Deshaun and Max on June 13th, did you then subsequently call Detective Gaither on June 14th and on June 15th to talk about your assistance, you assisting the police department?
If I was assisting the police department, they would have had assist. My thing was to get them out for me.
Okay.
If anybody was going to be going to jail, it was going to be me.
Okay. Did you speak with Detective Gaither on June 14th and June 15th from the Fulton County Jail?
I probably did.
All right, guys. So yeah, this is everybody here with the 8 co-defendant. 1, 2, 3, the youngest. Actually, he was even incarcerated before anything happened. Somehow he got pulled into this. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, and probably one of them is missing there. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to finish it up and wrap it.
Yeah, I was going to talk to her any day to throw them out for me.
Okay. And have you had the opportunity to listen?
This young man has been telling them that since the day he sat on that box, that he lied and he made it all up. Actually, there's one word he used pretty well, was he finessed the detectives. Oh, yeah. And he told them whatever that might sound good so he can get out and take the heat from him. All right.
To those jail calls?
No, these all calls are new to me.
Did I play these jail calls for you in the hallway?
Overruled.
Isn't true that I played the calls for you in the hallway about 2 weeks ago?
No, you played one call and I haven't heard that call that you played.
Okay.
All right.
All right, guys, I just wanted to find you something else that I wanted to share. And I think it was in here. Yeah, let's see. Videos. Let's go here. Little Woody. All right, let me just find you one of my favorite. Depends on how you. Okay, here we go. Judge refused to speak. Young Tug. there was actually one that was really my favorite. It was a question. Oh, there we go.
I had an issue with Rich Homie through threat. And about my partner, whatever he with, I'm with, they don't have nothing to do with YSL. Y'all trying to make it seem like this has some just because they don't have nothing to do what I do and what threat do, they don't have nothing to do with YSL.
Did you tell police that Thug had an issue?
I think I
Rich
just answered
Homie
you.
Quan? I don't think you did.
Thug was trying to protect Rich Homie. He was calling us saying that, man, hey man, leave Rich Homie alone. Like, he don't tell me what to do.
So that still didn't answer the question. Yes, no, I don't recall.
So did you have an issue with Rich Homie?
I'm asking you for what you told the police.
and I'm answering you. I just told you several times. I tell the police
Hey,
anything.
guys, this is how adorable he was. Like a lot of people, this guy sort of fell. Somehow we ended up all having a soft spot for him. His accent, the way he speaks, actually, I find out that he was half deaf and he had a little bit of a speech problem. And oh my God, he would say Pacific instead of specific. So what can I say? Even I have a French accent, guys, and I do tend to say things in a strange sound, I might say. But anyways, with that, let me get out of here and tell you one last thing. Let me just, yes. I wanted to just touch up on one more thing, and it is the the last saga of the day. So we have a couple of nominations today during the week you've heard of. Let me get my mouse going here. Sorry, guys. I get confused which way. Okay. So we have a lot of nomination now that were just announced for the U.S. White House. I mean, the cabinet. Let's check it out. Looks like we have the untouchables being nominated here. Are you guys ready? Let's see. Who did President Trump put in place? Let me check if I'm still on. Making sure you can hear me. Yes. Okay. We're good. Alrighty. So who did he put in his cabinet? I wonder. This guy is always playing some chess game. Let's see who's on the board. We have a Mr. Well, I heard of that one. Tom Ice. Mr. Or I should say, the real border czar. ISIS director. And what is it called? Stalwart on border control. Tom Homan will be joining the Trump administration in charge of their national border. I guess ours too up north, guys. Yay! The border czar is here. So yeah, of course, he's not limited just to southern border, but there you go. The northern border, all maritime, guys, and up to the sky, aviation security. All I can say is, Mr. Tom, welcome. Take it over. It's all yours. Congratulations. Next. Well, Matt, let me tell you guys, I know a lot of these names because I have been looking at it with loupe. If I may say, we say loupe in French. You guys call it magnifier. Well, Matt Gaetz has been on my radar, and I am happy to see this young man going to be the Attorney General of the United States. No more old, well, you know what I was going to say or sound like. But definitely kudos. I like how he is. He's blunt, he's direct, he goes to the point. That's how judges should be. Attorneys, come on, guys. Alrighty. So Matt, good job. He knows what's been going on, and definitely the government was weaponized, and hopefully they can dismantle this whole thing. All the best to Matt. RFK Jr., let me tell you, I think I'm the only one who was not surprised that he was going to join Trump. Something was telling me they were working together, and a lot of people knew they were working together. No, I'm not the only one, guys. The reality is that he was working with Trump since before Donald Trump became president in 2016. Go and listen and pay attention. The only reason why he is where he is today, it's because he was already told to go and figure out what's going on down there. Somehow nobody saw it coming. Nobody even sniffed anything off of him. But kudos to RFK Jr. May God be with you and keep us all healthy and safe. Next thing, my favorite. Well. The SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission chairman, used to be Gary Gensler. I know him because he went after my favorite crypto coin, which is XRP. Anyways, see ya. Plus, he lost his case, and he's still trying to get nowhere. But guess what? Amen. You're out. Come on in, Jay Clayton. Take up the seat. We got the Musketeers, Elon and Vivek. I'm going to tell you something. Those two, they look like little puppets. Nice puppets, fun puppets. Man, I mean, meaningful puppets, guys. So I am also gratefully happy to hear that Elon will have a big role, especially with this Department of Government Efficiency, Doge. You guys remember the Doge coin, right? Well, I mean, everything is connected, guys. XRP, Dogecoin. Watch out, guys. Anyways, I'm not promoting anything. I'm just having fun here. Together here, the two, oh my God, Vivek and Elon, two wonderful American, will pave the way for the administration to dismantle government bureaucracy / excessive regulation. What is it called? Girl, wasteful expenditure and restructure federal agencies. There you go, guys. Essential to save America movement. Right on. Let's go. Well, guys, and I definitely know Mrs. Ellis Stephanie, and you know what? She is an amazing, great woman. Let me tell you, I don't know what's going on with the role models out there, but Mrs. Ellis Stephanie would be a role model for me. When I was young, this is the type of role model I looked for. Not no Taylor Swift or whatever out there, or Beyonce. No dancers. Like, I looked for someone that did something, other than dancing, something good, pertinent, important, historical. Let's go, guys. All right, and finally, the White House staff. Let me see, guys. Well, let me look at this, the White House staff. And guess what? It starts with Mar-a-Lago. Let me tell you, I think Mar-a-Lago should be the new White House. Done. Nobody wants that old White House anymore, with no flair, no style. Oh, enough. Okay, Donald, just stay at Mar-a-Lago and enjoy Mar-a-Lago. Just call that the partial president house or something. I don't know. Come up with something. You're always good at coming up with something, Mr. Marketing Tool. Hello? Yeah, perfect. Just making sure we're here. Let me see what's going on here in the chat. Oh, well, hi, Ash. Number one is always around. Okay, so we got Dan Scavino. I definitely know Dan because Dan was already part of Donald Trump's administration. So Dan Scavino will return to the White House. All right, we're not going to say White House anymore, guys. To Mar-a-Lago as assistant to the president and deputy chief of staff. Scavino was a Trump campaign senior advisor and remains one of President Trump's longest service and most trusted aide. That guy was like the queen on the chessboard. Let me tell you something. I'm just going to say it like that because Donald Trump loves playing chess and Dan is his queen. You go, Dan. I'm right with you. I know what you're doing. You're doing good. Keep protecting that man. Next thing we have Stephen Miller, who will be a deputy chief of staff for policy and homeland security. Well, kudos, Mr. Miller. Good job. This is another one who's been very close to Donald Trump. And we have James Blair, who will be the chief of staff for legislatives. And there you go. He was another one in the campaign. I'm telling you, like these names were very, very known to me. Like I see, I've been watching what's going on, and like always, never disappoints. I don't know who gets disappointed here, but you kind of faking it, because there's nothing fake here. And we have Taylor Bodwich, who will be the chief staff for communications and personnel. Well, kudos, buddy. Let's go. And finally, I'm going to end. No, actually, I got one more. Congressman Doug Collins of Georgia, who will be the United States Secretary for Veteran Affairs. Of course, very important group that should never, ever be left to the side. And finally, the lovely Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi was put on the watch list, guys. The T watch list in the U.S. by Kamala. Kamala. Okay, listen. Tulsi's not going to put you on no list. Don't worry. You're safe with her. But, like, come on. Think again next time what you're doing. Like, now, she is the one who will serve as a director of national intelligence. Hey, well, good luck, Kamala. You can't hide nowhere. Bye, Kamala. And I'd like to say, here's another woman that should definitely be a good role model for a lot of young girls out there. Come on, moms. This is the real life leaders, real life models, real life people that young people can look up to. And with that, I would like to tell you guys all to have a lovely evening. But before I leave, I just want to end with something that I would like to start doing and go and share with you a little bit. Since I'm in Canada, I should be grateful and share with you some of my Canadian how do you call it? YouTubers that I really do enjoy. So we have here Northern Perspective, guys. I mean, adorable couple here. Definitely go